Berkley from GTA San Andreas is a very unorthodox character. We never even get to see the guy. At the same time, he's the main antagonist of Zero's plotline. At first glance, all we know about Berkley seems to come just from Zero's dialogue. Apparently, Berkley has just returned to town. We also know Berkley is both a business and personal rival to Zero. Both men run their respective electronic shops, where they mainly sell various miniature vehicle models. As you can see, Berkley and Zero are not all that different. Both own similar companies, Zero RC and Berkley's RC. They even took part in the same science contests. And that's when their conflict began. See, Zero once beat Berkley in a science fair.
Who the fuck is Berkley?
Oh, just a man I once beat in fair competition. I won the prize in the science fair. First prize, that is.
You might think nothing big, right? But Berkley was apparently obsessed with revenge. He vowed that he'd find a way to get back at Zero. In GTA San Andreas, we not only witnessed this conflict, but we're actively participating in it. By the way, if you like challenges, try to beat the mission Supply Lines on PS2. Anyway, CJ helps Zero win the mini-war with Berkley in 3 quests. The first mission is Air Raid, where we have to defend Zero's transmitters from Berkley's little bomber planes. The second mission is Supply Lines, where we sabotage Berkley's mail-order business. In the quest, we destroy the vans carrying Berkley's valuable merchandise. The third mission is New Model Army, in which our task is to beat Berkley in a mini-war on the RC battlefield. But if we don't like those missions, we can skip them, and the story will continue normally. Regardless of whether we complete them or not, we'll encounter Berkley once more in the plot. And that happens in the second part of the mission, breaking the bank at Caligula's. It turns out that Zero accidentally told Berkley about the planned casino robbery.
Someone else is in the system. Wait a second. It's Berkley. It's him, I know it.
How on earth did Berkley know you was gonna be doing any of this?
Well, no comment.
Why did he do that? Well, we see in the game that Zero likes to flatter himself. He's a bit of a narcissist.
Actually, I'm the only man to speak to. Grade A tip-top genius, that's me.
And nothing inflates the ego of a person like that more than telling their biggest rival about their success. Berkley uses the information about the robbery and restores power to the casino, which makes the heist more difficult. CJ gets angry at Zero for it. He even lands a proper punch on his face for it. Here, we arrive at an important conclusion. Berkley plays a much bigger role in the story than it may seem at first. Despite that, Rockstar hasn't given him a unique character model. We never see Berkley in-game. We never hear his voice. There's no photograph of Berkley either. In the game, there are characters that play much smaller roles than Berkley. For example, the little guy from the cutscene in the mission A Home in the Hills. There's also Jose, Caesar's friend, or Colonel Fearburger. Even though those characters only appear in one scene each, they all have a unique model. Meanwhile, Berkley stays in the dark. That made players wonder, hold on, what if Berkley isn't a real person at all? What if he exists only in Zero's imagination? And that is a fair question. Zero spends his entire days behind closed doors. He's weird, talks erratically. Sometimes it's hard to figure him out.
The hour of judgment is upon me, and I must ask myself if I am a sheep or a goat. Carl, will you be my second?
He doesn't hang out with any friends. He just sits in the shop all day working on his miniature models. Players concluded that Zero could have gone crazy. He had no challenges, so his body started to crave a fight. He was emotionally deprived. He was missing the endorphins the body produces after overcoming adversity. That could have given birth to the concept of Berkley. And perhaps Berkley is a real person. Maybe it's someone who indeed lost to Zero in a science fair, but their relationship might have ended there and then. However, Zero, who enjoyed the thrill of competition, soon wanted a second round. Many things point to a possibility that Berkley exists only in Zero's imagination. The fact that we never get to see him in the game is just the tip of the iceberg. The mission New Model Army is very suspicious. CJ does all the hard work, while Zero only drives a remote-controlled buggy along the path. It looks almost as if Zero just wants to distract CJ. He gives CJ the difficult task so he can take control of Berkley's helicopter and obstruct the way of his own buggy. He clearly has time for it. It's not like driving a buggy along a predetermined route is an absorbing task. To add to that, Zero speaks to Berkley in that mission.
Curse you, Berkley! Carl, move that barrel! Berkley, you, sir, are a loser.
Strangely, he never gets a reply. What's that supposed to be? Is Berkley another mute character in GTA? Why doesn't Berkley react to Zero's comments? A different mission shows that he's more of a typical wannabe tough guy. He's the one who hangs Zero on a hook in the wardrobe. Kind of weird that he suddenly became so silent. And it only gets stranger. The mission Air Raid is another odd one. We have to stop Berkley's planes from destroying Zero's transmitters. What's so weird about that, you ask? Well, maybe it's the fact that the transmitters are not there outside of this mission. Does Zero arrange all that himself just for show? I don't know, but it kinda looks like it. The mission Supply Lines isn't any better. We destroy the vans carrying Berkley's merch. Those vans have Berkley's company logo painted on them. Using mods, we see that Zero and CJ control the plane from a van underground. A van with Berkley's logo on it. Does Zero arrange those shipments and fake Berkley's company himself as well? I don't know, but it looks like it. And then there's Zero's behavior. Zero was lonely and felt empty inside. He craved attention from other people. Zero was desperate.
I am having real trouble with women. I don't know any. Yes, I don't know any.
His life had no highlights. That's why he imagined himself an enemy. Why an enemy and not a friend, you ask? Well, there's an answer to that too. I don't know if you're aware, but Zero often quotes war speeches or military-themed movies. For example, his line from the mission Air Raid is a twisted version of Winston Churchill's speech from World War II.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
Never have so few owed so many, too little, three. No, that's not it. What is it?
In the mission Supply Lines, he quotes a movie about the Vietnam War.
Smell! You know that gasoline smell? The whole hill smells like victory.
Smell it! You know that ozone smell.
What that means is simply that Zero likes military themes. The fact that he quotes famous generals shows that he wanted to feel like one himself. That's why he invented Berkley and his miniature war machines. He began fighting wars with himself. It not only made him feel noticed, but he also felt like a general straight from a history book. It fulfilled him. Yes, it was kind of sick, but also very possible. So, mystery solved, right? Zero is one serious freak. Berkley doesn't exist. End of story. Well, not quite. That would be far too simple. See, there's a cut mission for Zero, and it seriously challenges this theory. We can find dialogue lines suggesting that Berkley was initially supposed to make a physical appearance in the game, and that he was supposed to die at some point. Also, there are lines where Zero says he's sad that Berkley's dead. And why would he ever be sad about his death? If Berkley is his invention, it's up to Zero whether he's dead or not. This makes our theory collapse. Or does it? Well, you could counter it by saying that this is a beta mission, and since it's only beta content, it shouldn't be treated as an argument. There's a reason why the developers cut it. Fine, I buy that. But trust me, there are a lot of other things that strongly argue against the theory that Berkley's not real. First off, Zero fighting wars with himself is like taking a dump in your own yard. His shop already faces financial issues in the story precisely because of Berkley. Zero is very upset about this. CJ saves him by buying the shop. Would Zero really sabotage his own business that earns him a living? The business that is his entire life? That's very difficult to believe. And there are even more problems with this theory. In the mission Supply Lines, we kill Berkley's couriers. Is Zero really such a psycho that he's ready to commit crimes like that? Do you think that he's capable of making CJ kill people and blow up vans for fun? Come on, Zero's a cowardly loser. He wouldn't have the guts to murder innocent people. The fact that he commits those crimes in the game means he has to have a real enemy who wants to ruin him. This only makes sense if we assume Berkley is real. Besides, listen to this. If Berkley doesn't exist, that means Zero buys a few vans, motorcycles, hires some couriers and arms them with semi-automatic weapons. And all that just to then go with CJ and blow it to hell? That's totally absurd. Zero wouldn't be able to afford that. Not only that, but when CJ enters his store in that mission, Zero tells him to beat it.
Go away, Carl.
I'm very, very busy back here. Top secret stuff, not for your eyes.
If the whole thing were just a setup, he'd shout something like, "Hey, CJ, come here, help me." By the way, there's another thing that's very off. How come two random electronic nerds have access to semi-automatic guns, aircraft cannons, and explosive projectiles? On the other hand, we're in Rockstar's universe. Yeah, the same universe where Caesar buys his weapons in the same place that he buys his pants.
Where'd you get that?
Same place I bought my pants, Holmes.
Another good question, how exactly does Zero end up hanging by his underwear on a wardrobe hook? Moreover, if Zero lied, he'd make mistakes. In the game, he makes none. Zero always speaks clearly about Berkley. His story is consistent, and from cut dialogue lines, we know that Zero isn't a good liar.
Someone else is in the system. Wait a second. It's Berkley. It's him, I know it.
How on earth did Berkley know you was gonna be doing any of this?
Well, no comment.
If Berkley really didn't exist, Zero would give it away sooner or later. Another thing is that Zero isn't a bad person, especially towards those close to him. He's always wanted to be noticed, and that's exactly what CJ and his crew give him. They're his only friends. Zero is useful to them. Example? There you go, the mission zeroing in. Zero builds a device that allows CJ to steal the first car on their customer's wish list. Would Zero seriously put those friendships at risk just for the sake of his sick fantasy? Would he really be capable of telling such blatant lies to CJ? To CJ, who saves his shop and who always helps him? Take a listen to cut dialogue from the heist and ask yourself this. Is Zero seriously capable of playing games like that with CJ?
Wait a second. It's Berkley. It's him, I know it.
What?
Carl, I know the tactics of my arch rival. Berkley, you bastard!
Quit shouting in my ear.
Sorry. So, Berkley thinks he can out-hack the master, eh? I'm gonna use his own Hydra and bounce it right back down his pipe.
Ah, whatever, man. Just deal with that fool.
Haha, Berkley! How do you like a taste of your own hexadecimal?
You got him?
Carl, this is a battle between two coding behemoths. Like two giant nuclear monsters trampling a city underfoot. We struggle for dominion over the tiny, puny Earth.
Hey, Zero, what about Berkley?
Oh, don't worry about Berkley. He has been made to bleed from his I.O. ports.
Well, I'm sorry, but that seems impossible to me. But if you think otherwise, share your thoughts in the comments. And the fact that we never get to see Berkley isn't actually as strong an argument as it might seem. Berkley is an electronics nerd after all. Hackers like to stay under the radar. They like to remain in the dark and pull strings from behind the curtains. If anything, this narrative builds a cool vibe of a mysterious hacker. To get around all those arguments, you'd have to assume that Zero suffers from a serious mental illness, that he may have some kind of psychosis and sometimes acts fully subconsciously. Or maybe he has a split personality. One time, he thinks he's Zero, and at other times, he thinks he's Berkley. The world's seen stranger stories, but there's one thing that rules out this possibility for me. See, coincidentally, Zero's always himself every time CJ drops by his shop. Besides, the fake Berkley theory assumes that Zero controls Berkley's RC vehicles and his own at the same time. Well, that doesn't make sense. You're trying to tell me that he's both Berkley and Zero simultaneously? That just doesn't hold up. So to summarize, I think Berkley is a real person. Otherwise, you'd have to make a ton of absurd assumptions for everything to still make sense. But if you assume that Berkley does really exist, it's easy to put it together. The fact that Berkley's shop isn't to be found in San Fierro can be explained. Berkley's just got back to town, hasn't he? Maybe he hasn't properly set up his shop yet. Other than that, the game only explicitly mentions his mail order business. Maybe he doesn't run a physical shop at all. So sure, Zero is a weirdo. He's a nerd. He's a war-themed fanatic and wants to feel like a big general himself. Zero is also lonely. There are many things suggesting that Berkley is only a figment of his imagination. However, logic tells a different story. Berkley has to exist. Sure, Zero absolutely exaggerates the conflict, making it look like a large-scale war. But at the end of the day, it isn't just completely made up. For me, that dialogue line from the cut mission removes any doubt because it shows Rockstar's idea for Berkley's character. They planned his physical appearance, and yeah, the mission itself was cut, but it reveals something fundamental about the design of this character. and that remains valid throughout the entire plotline. I've also got 2 fun facts for those who've made it this far in the video. The first one is actually a question. In the mission with the casino heist, Berkley turns the power back on, but I can't figure out where he gets the power from. The city generators on the Sherman Dam are destroyed by Zero in that mission. The backup generators in the casino are blown up by CJ. So how does Berkley manage to power the casino? The second fun fact is that in GTA Online, in the radio station Cult FM, there's a cool reference. See, one of the station's hosts is voiced by David Cross. He's the same actor that provided the voice of Zero in GTA San Andreas. Listen to a clip from the show where he hilariously refers to Zero's plotline in GTA SA.
This is low-power DIY radio. You know, we built everything ourselves. I mean, I had to drive all the way up to San Fierro for some of these parts. Little radio store up there run by this loser, real loser, total zero. And the most annoying voice I've ever heard. And I was thinking the drive up there was the worst part of that mission, but actually dealing with that guy and the annoying shit he made me do, I mean, it was just, there were these... All right, where was I?
That's it for today. Thank you all for watching and a big shout out to the supporters. Take care and see you soon.